Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. Not that long ago I talked about my favourite eyeshadow palettes from 2021, but you know that there have been others who have done this, and I have taken this idea directly from Teresa is Dead. She's the dead version of me. No, not really. She's a fantastic YouTuber. If you haven't checked her out, whatever, just do. I think she might be as pale as me. Are all Teresa's pale? Who knows? Anyways, not the point. She found like some lists of the top palettes of 2021. And that's right, my friends. We're going to look at them and I'm going to give you my opinions. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then do please keep on watching. So the list that I decided to use was rather ominously called The List. I'm going to have the link down in the description box. But the very first thing that they brought up was the Urban Decay Wild West palette. There are actually no words for this. Like, Urban Decay is like a fever dream of the 90s that just won't go away. I have a really love-hate relationship with them. I think they do some amazing products and they were like the first thing I fell in love with as a brand. But this is absolute trash. It is literally a neutral palette with a pop of blue. Like, even pairing this with the song Wild Wild West from Will Smith does not make this interesting. This, I can't, who's using this? Who's buying this? Is everything okay? I fucking hate this so much. And I question whoever put this list together, because that's the first thing that I'm saying. And I'm already upset. So, oh God, no, this is terrible. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm already annoyed. Oh, not off to a good start. The second thing that they're talking about is this ColourPop Animal Crossing thing. Okay, so like Animal Crossing, it was a whole thing during lockdown. Everybody was like playing it except for myself. I don't know what I was doing. I think crying and eating as much like sugary, caloric things as I possibly could. I wasn't engaging in any sort of Animal Crossing. But they came out with these quads. Like, I mean, they're all right. Like, do you know what? As like quads go, they're not the worst. I have better quads, but these aren't awful. And I think, you know, they have a time and a place for everyone. I know my girl Wilma got this in like a ColourPop mystery bag and she did not love it, but she's not a ColourPop hoe. And that's fine. I love you anyway, Wilma. This is okay. I mean, it's sort of like a collector's thing. I don't hate them so much for coming up with this. I think this is kind of par for the course that we'll have some amount of ColourPop on the list, so I'll allow it. Oh, sweet merciful Jesus, this next one, they have had the gall, the audacity to put Tarte on some of their best of 2021. This is the Sweet Face palette. And they've said, this sweet face palette from Tarte will seal the deal. Seal the deal for what? This is only suitable for Caucasians like myself. Plot twist, there are other skin tones. Just as 3 matte and multi-dimensional shades that will deliver an effortless, natural looking radiance. No man, I'm alright. Like, who's buying Tarte these days? Like, literally, they came out with the weirdest thing recently, which was like a thing for like getting rid of your scalp. Apparently that's the thing that we need now. I'm honestly confused as to how they're even a thing at this stage, and I don't want to talk about it. We're done. This next one is Chazza Tillithberry, and under the title it says, this 2021 palette designed for social media use should be in your collection. Don't you tell me what to do. I shouldn't do whatever you're I don't know. I got confused and I got disoriented because I was looking at like messy brushes. Like, this is, look, I can see that this has a time and a place for like everyone, but whenever I look at Charlotte Tilbury's eyeshadow palettes, they're just not the thing for me. They're so expensive, and this is beige and neutral, and there's a lot of shimmers or satins or whatever in there, and I'm like, I wouldn't really know what to do with it. I'm sure like somebody'd look beautiful with this, but like, I'd feel the need to like pop some colour on just to make it a little bit more interesting. It's too expensive for what it is, guys. Just get yourself like those little elf bite-sized quads for like €3. It's much better, just saying. And then they have another ColourPop entry. This was from when they came out with the £5 palettes, and they're specifically talking about the pink one, but I remember they had other ones. And it has ColourPop's
well-known pressed glitter formula. Now, a lot of people don't like them. I actually really like their pressed glitter. I think they're really, really good. I'd happily buy a palette of just their pressed glitters. This is actually quite pretty. Like, I can see how this made it. It's not awful. It's the 143 Pink Pressed Powder Eyeshadow Palette. And do you know what? I'm gonna say I actually think it's super, super cute. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy it myself, but I can totally see how, like, this would be an everyday thing. And actually, this is pretty darn good for, like, you know, Valentine's Day or whatever. Yeah, I don't fucking hate it. I don't mind this. Yeah, okay. This list isn't awful. Then this next one is by e.l.f. And I just talked about their £4 palettes, the little bite size, and they are talking about the bite size, but they're talking about the mint ones. Now, I didn't try the mint ones, but my lovely friend Chloe Demure of Save the Victory Roll tried this. I know she doesn't like it, but apparently they're saying it's decent. I mean, I don't hate the colour story of this. Yeah, I mean, I have a few of their other ones, like the jalapeno palette is banana balls, and I love that. Maybe at some point I'll get the mint melt. I don't know. Like, it's not awful, but I am a little bit put off by the fact that Chloe was like, nah, it ain't good, man. She actually put it down as like one of her worst of 2021, so. Oh, sweet merciful Zeus. They've put in a By Terry palette. This was like, I don't know which one it was. It just says their romance in France or something. Oh, God. Like, I'm just sensing a theme here. Neutral, neutral, neutral. And there's a brush in there. Oh, a dual-ended brush to make things worse. I mean, I really like the little patterns. Like, they're kind of cute, but I've never heard anything about By Terry. There've never been a brand that I found interesting. I see their stuff in TK Maxx an awful lot, so I guess if you like this, keep an eye out. Oh, this was the Huda Gold palette. Like, look, I'm gonna say it, I don't like Huda's £9 palettes. Most of their £9 palettes that I've gotten recently have just been lackluster. They're like, what, €24 or something like that, and I think they're way too expensive for what they are. And this is no exception. It's the gold one. It's the Gold Obsessions. I just don't find it interesting. And I love how underneath it says, the eye looks from this palette are endless. Really? Really? Because I can only think of like maybe two looks I could do with this. Max. Unless you're talking about like you use one shade each time. I don't get it. This is bad, man. This is bad. Then this next one I've never heard of. This is Peri Peppa, and it's apparently like a Korean brand because they're all saying like bring Korean makeup into your collection. I don't think this is awful. It's the Lala Coral Mingo eyeshadow palette. It's not for me at all. It kind of bugs me that it's so long. That's not what she said, but I kind of feel like I'd put that somewhere and it would just snap. Also, there's no depth. Where's the depth? What's happening? Where's the rest of it? Like, I don't know. I get it, like it's Korean. This would actually look beautiful on Korean skin tones, but it's very non-inclusive. So, oh shit, we're back to Tarte again, and this is apparently 20 pans of neutral with a little pop of pink and a little pop of purple. I can't remember. This is their Juicy Amazonian Clay. They really can't get away from their Amazonian Clay bullshit. Ooh, this. I mean, how do you have a 20 pan eyeshadow palette where 2 or 3 shades are just duplicating themselves? This is awful. Like, absolutely dreadful. And like the last thing that we were looking at from Tarte, they just aren't inclusive. Who is this? This is fine for the melanin challenged amongst us, but for the rest of us, I wouldn't know what to do with this. Burn it, I guess. Then we have Suko, and this is another neutral leaning palette, and this is their signature colour eyes. I think they're rather optimistic calling it colour eyes. I see no colour here. Where's the depth? I've seen good quads. I've seen many good quads, and there is no depth in it. Like, that brown at the top right corner should be a deep, dark brown. This is awful. I don't even want to know how much this is. I'm actually afraid to look. Ugh, no. Oh, sweet merciful Zeus. This is like, I'm going back into like 2001 with this one. This is from Almay. This is what they're saying. They're like putting this as part of the, are they okay? Do they know anything? What's going on? And they have this particular palette, and they have that whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thing of like, this is the way you use it. Colour in your eyelids with the rest of us. And it's $5. Oh, no, this is terrible. Although they're saying here it's like drugstore.
Good Lord, no. Then they have put down Pat McGrath, and it's one of her very, very many mothership things. It's the Mothership Mega Palette, and they've just said, indecisive, buy this new palette from Pat McGrath that features 18 shades. Really? If you're indecisive, that's what you should do? I don't know if I should marry him, mother. Quickly, buy this palette. Oh, I don't know if I should pull the plug. Quickly, buy this palette. I'm sure they mean like with context. Do you know what? Actually, I don't hate this palette. I think it looks really pretty. I don't own it. I don't really own any Pat McGrath. There's nothing that's kind of like reached out and grabbed me because it's so expensive. But do you know what? If this turned up at my doorstep, I wouldn't hate it. But like, I wouldn't say it's the absolute best that 2021 had to offer. I mean, to be fair, 2021 was a garbage fire of a year, but still. Oh man, this next one, this is by Radio, and I remember this having a ridiculous price tag along with it. And actually, I know I said I got this idea from Teresa, but I remember her reviewing this palette and fucking hating this. This reminds me of a Makeup Revolution reject. It reminds me of one of the Tammy palettes. And they've put down on this list, this new palette will cost you, but it's completely worth it. Is it? Are you sure, my friends? Are you sure? Because it's all shimmers. Is it all shimmers? It looks like it's, I fucking hate this. And I love colours, but I hate this. And that was the first of the list. And I gotta say, I don't agree with a big chunk of what they've said. Like, I think it's all steaming garbage, bar one or two exceptions. Weirdly, I didn't hate the Colourpop stuff. But you know, for balance, I brought another list, and this is from Hello Magazine. You know, the magazines that like to tell you about celebrities and, I don't know, whatever nonsense. I don't really watch these things, read these things. I don't find them interesting. I get bored. But they've said, these are the 24 best new eyeshadow palettes to buy in 2022. So they're projecting forward. They're like, don't bother buying any of the new shit that came out. Buy the stuff that already exists. So let's go. Let's see what they have to say. Oh. No. This is awful. This is the Lancome Emily in Paris eyeshadow palette. And if it wasn't bad enough that Emily in Paris exists as a Netflix show, I have hate watched that. I can't lie, I have hate watched that. And just, she embodies everything of privilege that I cannot stand. Like, she's just there like swanning around Paris and like everything works out for her when it shouldn't. This palette actually perfectly embodies her. It's so average. And I don't know why it's getting success. I hate this. Like, I genuinely, between it being a weird fucking shape, there being just shitty, pointless colours, I guess it's good that they've put it into quadrants so you know kind of what to do with it. That you're like, this is a day look, this is a night look, this is a put it in the bin look. £38. No man, I'm not that badly off. Then this next one is from Dior. It's their Beauty Backstage eyeshadow palette, and that's £39 in Selfridges. Now, I don't like the look of this palette, but I will say I kind of fucking hate how much I like Dior. Some of my favorite, like my favorite foundation is from Dior, and I hate how much I love it. Like, it's actually deeply concerned me. I also have some of their highlighters, and I think they're really, really good. I just don't think their eyeshadows are where it's at. Like, come at me. I think this is boring. I think this is basic. It just, not for me. Oh, sweet merciful Zeus. Now they're bringing in Glossier, their Monochromes eyeshadow palette for £19. Fuck is this? Like, no, seriously, like, can somebody tell me, what is this? Love that it says, you look good on the mirror. Like, okay, thank you. It's nice to hear, but where is the rest of the palette? There's no depth. There's what, two? Like, this is terrible. It is refillable, so I guess that's something. Like, I like that. I'm all for, like, something that's a bit more sustainable, it's vegan, all that sort of thing. But fuck me, man, that's bad. Nuh-uh. This is another list that has Urban Decay. This is, like, getting me thinking that maybe Urban Decay are, like, paying people. Because, like, this is shit. This is their, like, what was the Cyber palette? And they were like, look, we have multi-chromes. And I'm like, no, you don't. This is bullshit. This is £45, which I still can't get over that they have the audacity to charge that much for it. And again, this is only going to work for Caucasians. and there's no depth, it's shit. And the mattes that they have in there make no sense with the rest of it. It is a dumpster fucking fire. I hate it. No. Did anyone buy this? If you bought this, will you let me know? Because do you hate this with me or do you love it? Do you actually love it? Will you tell me? I'm very invested in this. This next one is NARS Climax eyeshadow palette. Really? Because like, I don't ever look at NARS and kind of go, yeah, eyeshadows. They're another one that I'm all about like their like foundation concealers. I have like repurchased this bloody concealer pot I don't know how many times, and I will continue to buy it until I find something else that I love more. But this palette is absolutely awful. It's £45. Ugh, I'll have links to everything down below, and they may be affiliate links, so if you do want to buy it, I mean, I guess go and get it if you want it. I mean, I will judge you on some of these. It's not great, is it? I mean, I do like there's green. Okay, I'm okay with there being green, but the rest of it, how do these colours go together? How would I, I don't know how I would make something from this. I'm for it being grungy, but I don't know what to do with this. Oh man. This is Ciate London and a collaboration with Christine Quinn. And when I tell you that caucasity has been embodied in an eyeshadow palette, this is it. It's £35. It's called their Boss Bitch eyeshadow palette. Wow. This is awful. And like, Ciate are not really great when it comes to their eyeshadow formulas. Like, it's just kind of a known thing. They really should just stick in their lane when it comes to like, you know, nail polishes and stuff, because they just don't seem to be able for the eyeshadow game. This is absolutely dreadful. No. No. Like, can't even be sassy about this. I cannot understand who put this forward. No. Actually, I'm beginning to think that this person is just a bougie bee. They have put forward the Chanel Le Beige eyeshadow palette. Yeah, beige. And it's £48 for this. It's coral toned, which is okay. But again, there's no depth. And I hate that there's one pan that's bigger than the rest. Why? Why is that shade bigger than the rest of them? No depth. And then, are those spongy applicators? There's at least one sponge applicator. That's how you know it's either very cheap or very expensive. No. This next one, do you know what? I don't like disagree with them. This is the MAC Tempting Fate eyeshadow palette, and I actually got this, and I will say I really enjoyed it. I have a link down below of that video, and I actually think it's very pretty. I like that a lot of the eyeshadows you can actually use as like, you know, highlighters and stuff. It's very pretty. Oh, it's down to £25 in John Lewis apparently. Okay, do you know what? I don't think this is awful. Like, I really liked this. Yeah, and again, it's not cruelty free. So if that ain't your bag, you're not going to enjoy it. So yeah. Oh, this person's put down the By Terry one again, the Paris Mon Amour one. That's 2 votes for that. Is that the best palette? Is it? Are you sure? Oh dear. We have another Chasa Tillithberry in here, and this is their Instant Eye Palette in Smoky Eyes Are Forever. It's £60. They've done that thing again of having like the trios and kind of separating them. I think that's very smart for her to do that. She's like, happy eyes, confident eyes. You can't be happy and confident, just so you know. Those are different things. I will say I like the Power Eyes trio. That's kind of pretty, but I don't like the rest of it. But like I said, her stuff just doesn't appeal to me. I never think to myself, yeah, this is going to be the thing that I'm going to get. Just ain't for me. They have chosen Suko again. Now, they've chosen a slightly different eyeshadow palette, but it's the Colorized, so I'll put it as being the same thing. This is £46 in Selfridges, and it has the terrible applicator. Again, there's no depth in this. It looks dusty, it looks chalky. The fuck is it? £46? £46? Are they well? I don't really know much about this brand. I don't really want to either. That is terrible. Oh man. Then we have Ilamasca, and it's their Movement Artistry palette for £39. This isn't the worst that I've seen. I do think there are better palettes out there. Like, I think, for instance, you could get the Beauty Base Sunset Horizons palette and get something similar-ish but be more interesting. But do you know what? This one doesn't annoy me. I like the colours of this in as much as I've liked anything that they've shown so far. But in general, this is a very confusing list. I don't know what's happening. Ugh. Then we have Pat McGrath and their Labs Divine Rose Luxe Quad for £55. That's just too expensive for a quad, guys. Like, that would need to, like, insert itself onto my face. Like, that packaging is absolutely gorgeous, but there's not enough depth. And I know she's a makeup artist, so she really knows what she's doing, but this does make me question things. And I know my girl Missy has, like, gotten really obsessed with Pat McGrath recently, but would you buy this, Missy? And would you buy it for £55? Because if you would, I am questioning things. Then they've put the obligatory Anastasia Beverly Hills, but they've interestingly gone with the soft glam, which I'm like, okay guys, it's £46. It does have Noir in there, which is a decent matte black. Miss is watching and it's like, it's the best matte black. We will have to agree to disagree. And then that's the end of our friendship and we will never see or hear from each other again. I can see a theme. This person really likes neutrals. They're going for the very basic things. Okay, I guess. I have this, so I can't actually be like, it's not for me, because I do legitimately have this. I am that person. Yeah, they're very bougie. They're going for Tom Ford Beauty Quad eyeshadow palette. It's £68. £68. That's £17 per eyeshadow. Oh, this is terrible. And I don't like Tom Ford in general because he's very classist, and there's a lot of stuff that he does that has like tones of racism and stuff, and it just doesn't sit well with me. And even if I liked this palette, which I don't, by the way, I think this is like bleh, basic AF, I don't like it. Like, I wouldn't get anything from him. He's on my like list. Oh, okay. And you're getting the exact same looks from this palette. This is the Laura Mercier Parisian Nude eyeshadow palette for £45. Oh dear, like, this is like grayscale, like there's a, like, genuinely, that's what it looks like, with some sort of attempts at shimmers. I don't like it. I don't really, I love how they said, it's like, shop the best new beauty products to spark joy this year. This doesn't spark joy in me, this makes me feel incredibly sad, actually. Ooh. This next one then is Morphe 35C Everyday Chic Artistry Palette. It's apparently £25 on Pretty Little Thing. I don't hate this palette. Actually, when Missa first came over to visit me, she had this palette with her and I ended up liking it and I ended up buying it, but I never used it. Still sitting there. I may end up giving it away to somebody, but I can't say that I hate this or disagree because I do actually own it. Actually, I think I should I use it? Guys, do you want me to do a video at some point with this? Who cares? Do you care? I don't know, but I don't hate this one. I don't disagree. Then they have the Dolce & Gabbana Feline Eyes Eyeshadow Quad. Oh my god, it's £55. I love the packaging, but what the fuck is it with those applicators? It's terrible. There's no depth. Are they all satin? They are all satins, I think. I think there's maybe one matte in there and it's the top left colour. That's absolutely terrible. What about that is feline? How very dare you, sir? How very dare you? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it. Then we have e.l.f. eyeshadow palette. This is their Ocean and Earth eyeshadow palette for £14. Now, I don't own this, but you know what? I actually don't hate e.l.f. I think they're actually pretty decent, and I fucking love the colour story to this. There's a bit of grunge, there's some green, there's some blue. I don't hate this, and it's the cheapest one that they've had on their list so far. I kind of agree with them on this. I mean, to be fair, I'd actually just no, I was going to say I'd just take the top right corner, but actually I do quite like a few bits of this. I mean, I could be tempted to get this at some point. Do I need it? Absolutely not, but I don't hate this. I don't disagree with them on this. But I do disagree with this. This is Pillow Beauty Stars in Her Eyes. I've never heard of Pillow Beauty, but this is terrible. There's one matte and it's a dark navy blue. It's £24.90, which isn't awful for this list, but the rest are all shimmers. Like, they'd want to be amazing shimmers because I think this is just, it's a bit much, guys. Like, I like neutral with some blue. 2008 called and it wants its makeup ideas back. Anyways, guys, that is it. Those are the lists, apparently, of the best makeup in 2021. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? You can tell I kind of disagreed with an approximate shit ton there was a lot I really didn't enjoy there. And then there were a few that I can kind of see their arguments, but I think there's so many like really expensive, unnecessary brands being put on that list when there are cheaper, more affordable, and let's be real, better quality brands out there that aren't going to break your bank in the same way that these are. What do you guys think? Well, that's it. That's the end of the video. Check out Teresa is Dead's video. Hers is much better than mine because it's like late at night and I have to have a shower and my brain has turned off. Lucky you. But anyways, you know the drill. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see more nonsense and whatever it is that goes on over here. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.